at a subject, and then the lens image would be split like a prism towards a miniature or some other image. And on film, because this is all done on film, you would have a superimposition then. So I did a thing years ago for a commercial where someone was in a television and then reached out of the television and grabbed something in the foreground and went back into the television. And to make it more convincing, rather than just building a set with a TV with a hole in it and the person in there, we actually used the split screen concept. And the set was actually a slide, a Doratran, a big slide that we backlit of a living room with a television in it. Then the person was live behind a mask that fit into that TV and could reach beyond the mask and grab something that we had in the foreground, which was like a chicken McNugget or something. But it was very, very old school superimposition special effects. So the reason, thinking about it is using the iPads, the potentials of using partially silvered mirrors, the idea of because computers can send and receive at the same time, it opens up the mind to sort of live special effect things or things that slip with time.
I wonder what it would be like if you could introduce like a gradual delay. So it's like you start off seeing real time, but second by second, it's kind of like you're looking at the past.
I thought about how I was thinking about that as we were talking about it, is how to slow down reality, so that what people are seeing in the other iPad is a slow-mo version of what was happening moments before. Smokey VW,
we might have the
answer. But it could be possible. It's interesting. I mean, slowing it down is a whole other kind of algorithm. Delaying it is not impossible, but how can you delay a stream?
I don't know. But I don't know is the answer. Unless you can send it through to...
Unless you send it to a DVR that has a very short, but it has to be able to be recording and playing.
Right.
It's like a tape loop.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah. The simplest way might be to think in plastic terms and to think of videotape and how to use videotape to create a tape delay. Ooh, I like that idea. So maybe it's not the eyesight, maybe it's old school.
Or a combination of the two. I mean...
Well, a combination of the two, but maybe the eyesight is feeding to a tape deck, a VCR, old school VCR. And somehow you figure out how to connect two VCRs so that it's recording on one head and that tape is looping off with a significant delay to another machine. But physically, the way you would do a tape loop with two tape decks with 4 feet between them.
Spindles, right? Yeah.
And so you have the video spin. But the thing with VHS is that the head spins at such a rate. I just don't understand the mechanics. But it doesn't seem it's impossible, since it's really just another tape recorder.
Well, it's the same, I guess it's the same technology, basically, as a tape recorder.
Right. If you actually if you take one apart and you expose the cassette, all you're really trying to do is loop. Loop the tape.
Right.
Screw how the heads work. It doesn't really matter. Just figure out a way to maintain the left side of a cassette on one side and the right side of the cassette on the other side, and find a path for the tape to travel without getting fucked up. There's probably a much simpler way to do it.
I bet it's already been done as well. I mean, that might be a good thing to kind of check out on the Google machine, and just to find out, like...
Actually, yeah. Well, I mean, in a way, I wonder how much surveillance video is time delayed, or how much because we see those in movies. You see surveillance video that captures like 10 seconds at a time and then plays it back after the fact. It's sort of not real time. Now that's just in the movies, whether that's for real or not, or whether there is sort of like an archiving tape that's going all the time, and then there's the delayed playback for the guy who's might be sitting there watching it, or whether it's all real time. I don't know. But the idea would be that the person then could essentially turn around and see themselves, but only for a period of time. Then they would see the back.
Or
of their
the idea
head.
would be that the person could then essentially turn around and see themselves.
Yeah, so
Or the idea would be that so you get this. You could have this kind of thing where you got this kind of gradually.
Well, if they turn around to see themselves after a certain delay, they would see the back of their head. They would see themselves turning around to see themselves. And then they'd have to turn back around to load their face again.
Well, you know how you play when you play with an echo machine, like you play your guitar and you can build up like all these.
Right.
You basically build on the loop.
Yeah, but you're talking about stacking.
Yeah, I wonder if you could do that video. Like build on the loop of the video, and then it's like build on the loop of the video, build on the loop of the video. And somehow kind of build.
I don't know if you could. You'd have to disable the erase head that's in front of the record head. So I think all these video machines, like your camera, has an erase head in front of the record head, which is how you can record over a tape. So if you can disable the erase head, what would happen? You might just overmodulate the tape, but it might look great.
Yeah.
It's worth it to go to a yard sale and buy 2 VHS machines and take them apart.
Yeah.
And the more they match, or for $100 you can buy, probably for $60 now, you might be able to buy a VHS machine that's new from Best Buy, some crap shit VHS machine, buy 2 matching ones, and start fucking with them. Well, I'm gonna have to